Imagine a future where your digital shopping cart isn't just, a static list, but it's a savvy, almost clairvoyant assistant making real-time decisions for you. Or picture this, a store shelf that knows it's running low. Not just like logging inventory, but autonomously ordering more stock all by itself. No human prompt needed. Look, this isn't some distant science fiction concept anymore. It's the very tangible reality of agentic AI, and it's fundamentally reshaping the whole landscape of retail as we know it. Today, we're taking a real deep dive into this fascinating and frankly pretty transformative world of agentic AI in retail. We're drawing our insights from a truly comprehensive report. It's titled Agentic AI in Retail, State, Use Cases. And the central thesis, the core idea we'll be sort of dissecting throughout this deep dive, is that we're moving beyond that passive analytical AI. This is about proactive autonomous systems, digital collaborators that aren't just processing information, but actively executing complex tasks. It's effectively shifting retail operations from, being reactive to being constantly preemptive. So for you, our astute listener, whether you're meticulously prepping for a crucial industry meeting, striving to stay not just abreast, but really ahead in your field, or maybe you just possess an insatiable curiosity about what's next in tech and business. Well, this deep dive is crafted specifically for you. Our goal here is to deliver those genuine aha moments, to meticulously clarify the often confusing jargon that flies around, and to make sure you walk away feeling profoundly well-informed, but, never overwhelmed. And the sheer scale of impact we're talking about here is genuinely enormous. It touches pretty much every conceivable part of the retail ecosystem. We're talking supply chain optimization, hyper-personalization, and maybe most intriguingly, the very future of brand loyalty itself. So our mission today is crystal clear. We want to help you truly grasp what agentic AI is at its core. We want to look at precisely where it's already making a tangible, quantifiable difference in the retail world. We'll explore what seismic disruptions might be looming on the horizon. And most crucially, how savvy retailers can successfully navigate this complex yet incredibly promising technological shift to not just survive, but actually thrive. All right, let's unpack this. Before we dive into the profound impact agentic AI is having, we really need to get our heads around what we actually mean by agentic AI. It sounds incredibly futuristic, doesn't it? Like something out of a cyberpunk novel. But what truly distinguishes it from the myriad other forms of AI we've been hearing about for years?
Right. And it's a crucial distinction to make. When we talk about agentic AI, we're not just referring to a more advanced tool or, another layer of automation. We're really looking at a fundamentally new class of intelligent system. It's a paradigm shift. Think of them less as mere software and more as virtual collaborators and decision makers. They're specifically engineered to actively drive and achieve complex outcomes. These aren't just systems that respond. They're designed to perceive their environment in real time, independently set specific goals based on broader objectives, make autonomous decisions, execute complex multi-step tasks across various platforms, and maybe most importantly, continuously learn from the outcomes of their actions, all with a significant degree of autonomy. So it's not simply reacting to a prompt. It's a proactive, goal-driven model that fundamentally redefines the role of AI. To truly grasp it, maybe imagine a continuous cognitive cycle. It actually mirrors how humans make decisions pretty closely, but it operates at machine speed and machine scale. It starts with perceiving. So an agent ingests vast amounts of real-time data from an incredibly diverse array of sources. Think point-of-sale systems detailing every single transaction, inventory databases, customer interaction logs, IoT sensor feeds from warehouses or stores, and even external APIs pulling in critical market trends or, say, real-time weather patterns that might impact demand. It's taking everything in. Okay, once it's perceived all that, the agent moves to reason. Here, it employs advanced models, often including large language models or LLMs, sometimes enhanced by something called retrieval augmented generation or AG. RAG, for instance, lets the LLM ground its reasoning in specific, up-to-date, authoritative data sources rather than just relying on its pre-trained knowledge. That's key. This lets the agent interpret the data it ingested, understand the full context, break down high-level goals into actionable steps, and meticulously formulate a plan. Now, this next part is where it gets genuinely transformative, the act phase. This is the critical differentiator, really. Unlike passive analytical systems, an agent executes its plan. It interacts dynamically with other systems. That means it can call APIs to trigger actions in an ERP system, query databases for more specific info, initiate complex workflows across different software, and even manipulate user interfaces to carry out tasks in the digital world or through robotics, maybe even the physical world. It's not just telling you what to do, it's actually doing it. And the cycle doesn't just stop there, it then proceeds to learn. Through sophisticated feedback loops, The agent rigorously evaluates the outcomes of its actions. It meticulously monitors its own performance against its goals, identifies any inefficiencies or unexpected results, and continuously refines its strategies over time. This remarkable adaptability allows it to improve its effectiveness and adjust to changing conditions in a dynamic retail environment without needing explicit reprogramming from a human. And in the most advanced setups, an overarching primary agent can even orchestrate. It can coordinate the efforts of multiple specialized agents, each handling a specific subtask, to achieve incredibly complex, overarching organizational goals. It's really a holistic system.
Wow, so it's way beyond just being smart. It's genuinely proactive and constantly self-improving. This continuous loop you described, perceiving, reasoning, acting, learning, it sounds incredibly powerful, like a digital brain that just never rests. What then are the most crucial characteristics that really set it apart from other forms of AI we might be more familiar with?
Exactly. And those characteristics are absolutely key to understanding its unique power. First, and perhaps most fundamentally, is its autonomy and proactivity. Agentic systems function with a remarkable degree of independence. They don't just sit there waiting for explicit instructions, they actually take initiative. For instance, instead of a human needing to spot a potential issue and then, manually trigger a reorder for a product, an agent might proactively identify a looming supply chain disruption, maybe by correlating bad weather forecasts with shipping routes, and then autonomously initiate a mitigation plan for the impacted products. It could adjust orders, reroute shipments, all without needing a specific command. It figures out what needs doing, not just how to do a predefined task. Second, its defining feature is goal orientation. Unlike many AI systems that just respond to isolated prompts or perform single analyses, an agentic system works continuously, relentlessly toward a defined high-level outcome. Think of objectives like reduce stockouts by 15% across all stores, or maybe maximize margin on seasonal apparel lines by 10%. It aligns all its perceived data, its reasoning, and its actions with these strategic KPIs, dynamically adjusting its approach as internal inventories or external market conditions shift. It's always driving towards that specific, measurable business objective. And third, its adaptability and learning capabilities are paramount. These systems aren't static. They're inherently designed to self-optimize. They continuously learn from their interactions with the environment and, crucially, from the actual outcomes of their actions. This means they consistently improve their performance over time, becoming more effective and maintaining their relevance even in the notoriously volatile retail environment, which, as you know, is always in flux: trends, seasons, unforeseen events. It's an intelligence that evolves.
That's a remarkably clear breakdown. So it really emphasizes the shift from a tool that just responds to a system that actually initiates. But, with so many different AI terms constantly being thrown around, generative AI, traditional machine learning, RPA, how do we as listeners keep all these distinct forms of intelligence straight in our heads? And where does agentic AI fit into that complex landscape?
That's a critical question, absolutely. And it's essential for you listening to grasp the strategic implications of this new category. When we differentiate agentic AI from these other forms, we're really highlighting a fundamental shift in, well, the locus of control and the nature of the interaction. You see, generative AI and traditional machine learning tools are essentially extensions of the human user. They perform tasks as directed through prompts or programming, with the human still being the primary doer and decision maker. An agentic system, conversely, is given a high-level goal, and then it assumes responsibility for breaking that goal down into actionable steps and executing them autonomously. This fundamentally recasts the role of the human operator. You move from being a kind of micromanager, meticulously crafting precise, step-by-step instructions, to becoming a strategic director, defining clear objectives, setting high-level constraints, and measuring success. It's a profound re-architecting of human-AI collaboration. Let's maybe consider these comparisons one by one. First, agentic AI versus generative AI. Generative AI, as you probably know, excels at creating novel content, text, images, code, even music based on a specific prompt. It's a powerful engine for synthesis, for creation. A retail application might be generating a compelling on-brand product description for a new item. That's GAI. Agentic AI, by contrast, is designed for autonomous action and execution. Now, it might use generative capabilities as one of many tools in its toolbox, perhaps to draft an email or summarize a report, but its primary purpose is carrying out multi-step tasks and workflows that drive tangible outcomes. So imagine a generative AI writing that perfect product description. An agentic system, though, could then analyze target demographic interests, monitor social media trends, check inventory, compare competitor prices, and then autonomously purchase the optimal item on a user's behalf, navigating different vendor platforms, payment gateways, the whole 9 yards. Its focus is execution, not just creation. Okay, next let's look at agentic AI versus traditional machine learning, ML. Traditional ML models are typically trained for a specific, often quite narrow task, like prediction or classification. For instance, an ML model can forecast future demand for a particular product category based on years of historical sales data, promo calendars, seasonal patterns, things like that. Agentic AI, however, operates at a significantly higher level of abstraction. It can orchestrate and act upon the outputs of those ML models. So an agentic system would take that precise demand forecast from the ML model, interpret its broader implications for inventory logistics, and then autonomously execute a series of cascading actions. This might include adjusting reorder points in the ERP system, generating purchase orders with multiple suppliers, updating inventory levels across different distribution centers, and maybe even pre-allocating stock to stores where it anticipates higher demand. It moves beyond just prediction to proactive integrated management. And finally, we have agentic AI versus robotic process automation, RPA. RPA relies on software bots that are essentially digital mimics of human actions. They execute repetitive rule-based tasks within digital systems by following a rigid predefined script. Think if-then logic. It's automating clicks, data entry, moving files. Highly process-driven, very deterministic. Agentic AI, though, is far more dynamic and outcome-driven. It can intelligently handle exceptions, adapt to changes in the environment like a redesigned website interface or a new regulation, and apply reasoning to make nuanced judgments in unstructured scenarios. So, to put it simply, RPA automates the clicks in a predefined sequence, while agentic AI decides why and when to click, adapting its strategy to achieve a goal. It's about adaptive reasoning over rigid rules. And this whole comparison is crucial because it highlights that profound strategic shift for you, the listener. Humans are transitioning from being micromanagers, crafting step-by-step instructions, to becoming strategic directors, defining objectives, setting direction, measuring outcomes. It's really about re-architecting entire workflows around desired outcomes, not just individual tasks.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting and incredibly tangible, I think. This isn't just theoretical musing about future tech. Leading retailers are already putting agentic AI into practice and seeing genuinely quantifiable results. What does agentic AI actually look like when it's deployed, out there in the real world?
That's absolutely the crux of it. While the concept can sound abstract, its current applications in retail are strikingly pragmatic and incredibly impactful. We're seeing retailers hyper-optimizing existing data-rich operational workflows. The adoption is very ROI-focused, targeting well-defined, high-cost areas with clear KPIs, where autonomous decision-making can deliver immediate measurable value. It's generally an evolutionary path, not some revolutionary leap. This allows organizations to build confidence, establish robust governance, and demonstrate value incrementally. It's really about solving concrete business problems right now, not just building futuristic prototypes. One of the most mature and impactful areas for agentic AI adoption in retail today is definitely the supply chain. If you think about it, the sheer volume of structured data from ERP systems, POS data, logistics platforms, combined with really clear optimization objectives like cost reduction and service level improvement, well, it just makes it an ideal environment for autonomous decision-making. Agentic systems are enabling a critical shift here, moving from reactive problem solving and dealing with issues after they arise to a proactive and predictive operational posture. And that's an absolute game changer for businesses operating on often razor-thin margins. We're seeing several key use cases emerge that are really transforming how goods move from the manufacturer to the consumer. Take autonomous demand forecasting and replenishment. This capability moves way beyond traditional statistical models. It ingests an astonishing array of real-time signals. Instant sales data, trending social media chatter indicating shifting preferences, competitor promos, local events driving traffic, even granular weather patterns. All of this feeds into generating incredibly accurate demand forecasts. But crucially, the agent doesn't stop at prediction. It acts on this forecast by autonomously triggering replenishment orders to suppliers, dynamically adjusting safety stock levels in warehouses, and optimizing inventory distribution across the entire network. The goal is clear: minimize costly stockouts while simultaneously preventing expensive overstock situations. Another vital use case, especially relevant in today's, let's face it, volatile global environment, is proactive disruption management. Modern supply chains are incredibly fragile, as we've seen. An agentic system can continuously monitor the entire logistics network for potential disruptions. This could be anything detecting an abnormal shipping delay from a carrier, identifying a production issue at a key supplier, even anticipating port congestion based on global shipping data. Upon detecting an anomaly like that, the agent can autonomously initiate a multi-step resolution plan. This might involve checking real-time inventory at alternative distribution centers, identifying and maybe even vetting secondary suppliers with available stock, rerouting shipments via different carriers or routes, and instantly updating delivery timelines across all customer communication channels. All this happens without requiring human intervention for each individual decision. That saves immense time and resources, drastically mitigates potential losses, and helps keep promises to customers.
Those are incredibly powerful applications, really brings a new level of intelligence to what's historically been a very complex area. But what about concrete examples? Do we have any specific retailers seeing quantifiable impacts from these sophisticated systems in their supply chains?
Absolutely. The data and the real-world results truly speak volumes here. Consider Walmart, the world's largest retailer. They've integrated agentic AI into their inventory management, specifically to combat out-of-stock events, a huge challenge that directly hits sales and, crucially, customer satisfaction. In select pilot stores, Walmart deployed systems using computer vision and on-shelf sensors to continuously monitor product availability in real time. When stock levels for an item fall below a set threshold, the agentic system autonomously triggers a restocking order right into the supply chain workflow. This eliminates manual checks, cuts down communication delays, ensures shelves are consistently stocked, and the results from their pilot. One store reported a remarkable 30% reduction in out-of-stock incidents within just 6 months.
Wow, 30%.
Yeah, that directly translates to better on-shelf availability, a much better customer experience, and of course, higher revenue. Another compelling example is Levi Strauss & Co. They face that perennial challenge of aligning production with rapidly shifting fashion trends. You can imagine, heavily influenced by social media, seasonal styles. Traditional forecasting, based mainly on historical sales, often just couldn't keep pace. Levi's implemented an agentic AI system for demand forecasting that analyzes not only sales data, but also real-time signals from social media sentiment analysis and up-to-the-minute fashion trend reports. By more accurately predicting consumer demand, the system helps them optimize production runs, significantly reduce excess inventory, and allocate stock precisely. The result? A significant increase in full-price sell-through rates and a substantial reduction in margin-eroding markdowns. That hits the bottom line directly. And then there's Ocado, the pioneering UK-based online supermarket. They offer a brilliant illustration of a multi-agent system orchestrating physical automation on an industrial scale. Inside their highly automated customer fulfillment centers, thousands of autonomous robots operate in this meticulously coordinated dance on a massive grid structure. An overarching agentic AI system acts as the conductor for this whole robotic fleet, orchestrating their movements in real time. It calculates the most efficient picking routes, dynamically manages traffic to avoid robot traffic jams, and coordinates the entire complex process of retrieving and transporting thousands of grocery items to human packing stations. This level of autonomous orchestration allows Ocado to fulfill incredibly complex, multi-item orders with exceptional speed and accuracy, absolutely critical for success in the competitive online grocery market.
That's truly impressive, especially the ability to proactively manage physical assets and intricate logistics with such precision. But it's not just about optimizing the back end, is it? Agentic AI must be transforming the customer experience too, moving beyond just efficiency to genuine engagement.
You're absolutely right. One striking aspect is how agentic AI is elevating customer personalization, moving from that static demographic-based segmentation to truly dynamic, real-time one-to-one experiences that adapt instantly to individual shopper behavior and context. This capability is a direct, incredibly powerful response to escalating consumer expectations for seamless, relevant, intuitive interactions across all touchpoints online or in-store. It's really about making every interaction feel uniquely tailored to you. Let's maybe delve into some key use cases that exemplify this. We're seeing autonomous merchandising and product discovery. This goes way beyond the familiar customers who bought this also bought stuff. Agentic systems are effectively taking on the role of autonomous digital merchandisers. They can analyze market trends, sales velocity, granular customer preferences to autonomously curate and maintain themed product collections. Think your spring refresh picks, or personalized back-to-school essentials, all without requiring manual human updates for each collection. And even more granularly, these agents can dynamically tailor the entire homepage layout of an e-commerce site for each individual shopper, adjusting banners, feature products, even the overall visual assortment based on their real-time browsing, purchase history, even current location. Then there are dynamic pricing agents. In the incredibly fast-paced world of e-commerce, manual price adjustments just can't keep up. Agentic systems are designed to continuously monitor a huge range of variables: competitor pricing in real time, current inventory levels for thousands of SKUs, fluctuating demand signals, subtle shifts in seasonality. They then autonomously adjust prices in real time. This lets retailers maximize revenue on high-demand items, strategically discount slow-moving stock before it becomes a burden, and maintain a competitive position without constant human oversight. It's like an always-on pricing strategist. We're also seeing a profound evolution in conversational shopping assistants. This is a significant leap from those scripted, often frustrating chatbots of the past. These advanced agents can understand complex context, remember past interactions to build a kind of relationship, and crucially, execute complex multi-step tasks. For example, an agent could handle an entire product return process, verifying the order, issuing the refund, seamlessly suggesting alternatives based on your preferences. Or it might proactively contact you with an updated delivery time and even autonomously apply a discount code if a delay is detected, all without a human needing to step in.
Those are really tangible impacts directly affecting the customer's journey. What about some specific success stories? With hard numbers showing how this hyper-personalization translates into significant business metrics.
Absolutely. Leading fashion and beauty retailers alongside major e-commerce platforms are genuinely at the forefront here, demonstrating clear ROI. Take Zalando, the European fashion e-commerce giant. They implemented Agentic AI to automate their dynamic pricing. Their agents continuously track sales performance, competitor prices across the market, real-time inventory for hundreds of thousands of individual SKUs. Based on this flood of real-time data, they automatically adjust prices to optimize for both competitiveness and profit margins. This resulted in a reported 12% increase in revenue per SKU and demonstrably higher margins on their fastest-moving products. That's a powerful testament.
12% per SKU, that's significant.
It really adds up across their vast catalog. Sephora provides another fantastic example, extending agentic AI into physical stores for a more personalized, consultative experience. Through in-store tablets and their mobile app, customers interact with a digital beauty consultant. By scanning a product or inputting their skin tone, the AI agent can instantly suggest the ideal shade, offer virtual try-on, even recommend a complete personalized beauty routine. And the system continuously learns from purchase data, customer reviews, evolving trends to refine recommendations. This leads to increased satisfaction, higher purchase likelihood, and ultimately stronger brand loyalty. And across various e-commerce platforms like Shopify, the impact is undeniable. According to Shopify's own reporting, merchants using AI-driven personalization tools see demonstrably superior results compared to those who don't. On average, these stores achieve a remarkable 25% higher average order value, AOV, and benefit from significantly 19% lower return rates.
Wow, 25% higher AOV and fewer returns. That's huge.
Exactly. It's clear evidence that more relevant, tailored, intuitive experiences directly lead to more profitable transactions and much higher customer satisfaction.
So agentic AI isn't just optimizing the digital side, it's also making its way into physical stores, connecting those online insights with the brick-and-mortar reality. How is it transforming those, traditionally less data-driven in-store operations?
This is a truly fascinating development. Agentic AI is starting to bridge that long-standing gap, connecting sophisticated digital insights directly to physical store execution. It brings a new level of data-driven autonomy and responsiveness to the brick-and-mortar environment, which, let's be honest, has historically been a challenge, often relying more on gut feel than hard data. For instance, in AI-driven visual merchandising, optimizing store layouts, product placements, promotional displays, that's traditionally been manual, often involving a lot of trial and error. Agentic systems can now analyze real-time in-store foot traffic patterns from sensors, measure dwell times in different sections, and correlate this directly with POS data to identify precise links between layouts and purchasing. Based on this deep analysis, the agent can suggest and even help test optimized product placements and store designs that demonstrably maximize conversions. It creates a much more dynamic, responsive, and ultimately profitable physical store. We're also seeing significant advancements in autonomous compliance and quality assurance, maintaining meticulous planogram compliance, ensuring price accuracy, keeping shelves tidy across a large network of stores. That's a massive, often labor-intensive challenge. Agentic systems, often paired with computer vision, think shelf-scanning robots or fixed cameras, can continuously audit store conditions. When an agent detects a misplaced item, an incorrect price tag, an empty hook, or an out-of-stock product, it can autonomously create a task complete with photo evidence, location data, and immediately alert the right store associate for swift correction. This prevents lost sales, ensures pricing integrity, and guarantees a consistent, high-quality customer experience.
That sounds like an incredibly powerful way to make physical stores more efficient and consistent, really bringing that digital precision into the physical world. Are there any specific named examples of this in action?
There absolutely are. H&M, the global fashion retailer, offers a compelling case study. They implemented agentic AI in physical stores to enhance visual merchandising and drive store-level conversions. The AI system tracks how customers physically move through the store, what they purchase, how long they spend interacting with different displays or product categories. Using this rich behavioral data, the agent provides daily, hyper-optimized layout and product placement suggestions directly to store managers. This dynamic, data-driven approach has resulted in a reported 17% increase in average basket size across stores where it's
Yeah,
implemented.
17% just from optimizing layout based on data.
Exactly. It also empowered them to iterate on store layouts much more rapidly, without needing extra staff or extensive manual analysis. It really underscores the power of connecting digital intelligence with the physical space.
So what does this all mean for the bottom line? I mean, the numbers you've shared truly speak for themselves. We're talking genuinely impactful, transformative changes across the board. Walmart seeing that remarkable 30% reduction in out of stocks, H&M a substantial 17% increase in average basket size, Zalando boosting revenue per SKU by 12%, and e-commerce platforms like Shopify reporting 25% higher AOVs and 19% lower return rates with AI personalization. And beyond these specific examples, broader retail data suggests 75% of businesses report enhanced customer satisfaction, a 30% reduction in operational costs, 30% increase in online sales from personalized recommendations. These aren't just incremental gains. These feel like fundamental shifts redefining efficiency, customer engagement, and profitability in retail. Okay, so we've explored the impressive present, seen how agentic AI is already delivering substantial value. But what about the future? How will this technology fundamentally reshape not just how retailers operate day to day, but how we as consumers actually shop and interact with the brands we, think we love? This feels like it could be a truly profound shift brewing.
Indeed. When we look at the long-term potential, agentic AI isn't just about optimizing existing processes. It's truly about reshaping entire business models and, critically, the fundamental relationship between retailers and consumers. We're probably headed towards a future where sophisticated consumer-side agents converge with those multi-agent enterprise systems we just discussed. This convergence will, I think, compel a fundamental shift in retail strategy, from being product-centric to overwhelmingly data-centric. Product visibility, and therefore sales, will depend almost entirely on the quality and machine accessibility of a retailer's data. Investing in robust data infrastructure, adopting an API-first architecture, that won't just be a competitive advantage anymore. It'll become an absolute core prerequisite for survival. And the most profound, potentially disruptive long-term transformation might not even come from agents controlled by retailers. It might come from those acting autonomously on behalf of consumers. This new class of agentic systems will function as highly sophisticated autonomous proxies for individual shoppers. They'll fundamentally alter the dynamics of product discovery, brand loyalty, the very act of purchasing itself. Think of it like your ultimate personal shopping assistant, but one that operates with unparalleled efficiency, without human biases, and with a complete objective understanding of your preferences and needs. And the groundwork for this momentous shift is already being meticulously laid. Companies like MasterCard and Visa have rolled out capabilities allowing agents to autonomously trigger and process payments directly. Meanwhile, cutting-edge platforms from tech giants like Google and OpenAI are demonstrating increasingly sophisticated abilities to execute complex, multi-step tasks like booking an entire trip or purchasing goods across multiple websites, all from a single high-level user request. As these consumer-facing agents become more sophisticated, more capable, more widely adopted, they will unleash several truly transformative impacts on retail. Firstly, we're likely anticipating a significant erosion of traditional brand loyalty. Unlike human shoppers, often influenced by brand familiarity, habits, clever marketing, AI agents will be dispassionately programmed to optimize purely for outcomes. They will relentlessly compare products based on your precisely defined criteria: best price, fastest delivery, specific features, ethical sourcing, sustainability ratings, all without inherent brand bias. This will severely challenge incumbent brands relying on established goodwill, while creating unprecedented opportunities for lesser-known players who can compete purely on objective metrics. It forces brands to rethink their whole value prop. Secondly, there will be a completely new SEO, agentic optimization. The focus of digital marketing will pivot dramatically. It'll shift from optimizing content for human eyeballs, search results pages, social media feeds to optimizing for machine consumption. A visually appealing website, a captivating brand story, clever marketing copy, that becomes secondary to the quality, accessibility, and structured nature of your product data. Retailers must expose their inventory, pricing, all product attributes via robust, well-documented, easily digestible APIs. If a consumer shopping agent can't easily and reliably parse a retailer's data, that retailer's products simply get excluded. They effectively become invisible to the agent and thus invisible to the consumer it serves. That's a profound change.
Invisible because the machine can't see it properly. Wow.
Exactly. And this all culminates in a fundamental shift in power dynamics. As consumers increasingly delegate shopping decisions to a handful of dominant agentic platforms integrated into search engines, operating systems, major marketplaces, the power to influence purchasing decisions may shift dramatically away from individual retailers. We saw an analogy in the travel industry with online travel agencies, right? OTAs aggregated supply and disrupted hotels. In this agent-mediated future, retailers could risk becoming commoditized inventory suppliers, forced to compete mainly on price and fulfillment speed within an ecosystem controlled by the agent's platform provider. It's a potential reintermediation on a massive scale.
That's a truly profound, maybe even unsettling shift in how we might interact with brands, putting a powerful intermediary between us and our purchases. So while consumer agents are reshaping demand, how will retailers themselves evolve internally with these multi-agent systems moving towards what you called a sentient enterprise?
Right. The vision for the future of enterprise operations isn't really about isolated, single-task agents. It's about developing sophisticated networks of highly specialized agents, collaborating seamlessly across every business function. These multi-agent systems will collectively create what we're terming a resilient, self-optimizing, sentient enterprise, an organization capable of unprecedented agility, intelligence, responsiveness. This approach moves way beyond automating discrete tasks to the autonomous orchestration of incredibly complex end-to-end business processes, effectively dissolving those traditional functional silos we always talk about. The conceptual framework involves agents with distinct specializations sharing info and coordinating actions in real time, almost like a finely tuned orchestra. For a vivid example, imagine a major supply chain disruption detected by a dedicated supply chain agent, say a critical supplier has a fire. This agent wouldn't just flag the issue. It would autonomously communicate this critical info to a marketing agent to immediately pause promotional campaigns for affected products, managing customer expectations. Simultaneously, it informs a finance agent to adjust revenue and margin forecasts. And critically, it tasks the customer service agent to proactively notify customers with existing orders that might be delayed, offering alternatives, maybe compensation, rescheduling deliveries. This seamless cross-functional collaboration, executed not in days or hours, but in mere minutes. That becomes a definitive competitive advantage. Enabling this ambitious vision requires a completely new architecture, often called an agentic AI mesh. This acts as the central nervous system for the enterprise, providing the infrastructure for scalable orchestration, maintaining shared memory of goals and context, establishing secure, standardized communication protocols between agents, both internal and maybe even third-party ones. It's the digital backbone, allowing all these disparate intelligences to work as one cohesive unit.
That sounds like a true evolution, moving from isolated AI tools to an interconnected, genuinely intelligent enterprise. But what does this mean for the human workforce? Are we looking at mass job replacement or something more nuanced? What happens to the people in this sentient enterprise?
That's one of the most frequently asked and indeed most crucial questions. Contrary to the, let's say, sensationalized narratives of widespread job replacement, the next wave of agentic AI seems poised to significantly augment the capabilities of the frontline retail workforce. Rather than eliminating roles, it's more about equipping store associates, customer service reps, even middle management with real-time data and intelligent assistance. Agentic AI could transform what are currently maybe transactional employees into high-value super associates capable of delivering profoundly personalized, efficient, and empathetic customer experiences. It's an exciting redefinition of human work, focusing on elevating human potential, not simply eliminating it. Let's consider some future use cases that really exemplify this human-agent collaboration. Imagine real-time in-store guidance. A store associate, perhaps with a discrete earpiece or a smart device, gets real-time contextual guidance from an AI agent during a customer interaction. The agent might whisper prompts like, "This customer recently viewed these specific items online," or, "Based on their history, they're a high-value client. Maybe recommend this premium product." This effectively turns every associate into an expert with instant access to the company's collective intelligence and customer history, dramatically enhancing their ability to serve. Then there's hyper-personalized clienteling. Agentic systems could provide associates with a complete 360-degree view of each customer, autonomously summarizing all interactions across every channel, online browsing, past purchases, service inquiries, loyal status, maybe even relevant social media comments. This comprehensive context empowers associates to move far beyond generic service and build deeper, more meaningful, loyalty-driving relationships, making every interaction feel incredibly personal and informed. And for autonomous problem resolution on the floor, picture a customer reporting an issue, delayed online order, product defect to an in-store associate. The associate simply relays the problem verbally to their agentic assistant. The agent then autonomously executes the entire resolution workflow. Locates the package, reroutes it, applies a discount, confirms the resolution via email, all within seconds, while the human associate continues to engage the customer empathetically. This fusion of human empathy and machine efficiency, that could really define the future of in-store service, letting humans focus on the human part.
So the vision is incredibly compelling, humans and AI collaborating seamlessly. But the road to this future, as you've hinted, isn't without its substantial obstacles. What are the biggest challenges retailers are facing right now in adopting agentic AI? And why are we hearing about so many promising projects ending up in what you called pilot purgatory?
That's an absolutely critical question, and one we need to address head on. Because yes, many projects are struggling to move past pilots. And one striking thing here is that the challenges aren't isolated. They're deeply interconnected. A siloed approach to solving these issues is, well, almost certainly destined for failure. For example, legacy technical debt directly makes data quality issues worse. That, in turn, leads to erratic agent performance, which erodes employee trust and fuels workforce resistance. And without clear governance to assign accountability for agent errors, projects can quickly get mired in risk aversion and finger-pointing. So true success requires a holistic strategy, treating data modernization, process reengineering, change management, robust governance, treating them as interdependent work streams. Retailers have to navigate this complex gauntlet of technical, organizational, and governance hurdles. Let's start with the technical gauntlet, infrastructure and integration. The most formidable technical barrier is frequently the friction between modern, agile AI agents and those legacy enterprise systems that still form the backbone of most retail operations. Many retailers are still heavily reliant on outdated ERPs, venerable mainframes, monolithic platforms, things not designed for the real-time, API-driven world where agents thrive. These older systems often operate in slow, batch cycles, and critically, they lack modern, accessible APIs. This leaves agents frustrated they can observe data but can't act on it in a timely or integrated way. A recent survey actually found 40% of IT leaders cite integration with legacy systems as a significant challenge to scaling agentic AI. It's like trying to run modern software on a 30-year-old computer. And this challenge is intricately tied to data quality and silos. You know the old adage, garbage in, garbage out. It's amplified exponentially with autonomous systems. Agentic decisions fundamentally depend on impeccable data quality, consistency, timeliness. But in too many retail organizations, data is notoriously poor, inconsistent, trapped in silos across merchandising, e-commerce, supply chain. This fragmented, often unreliable data prevents agents from getting the holistic view needed for effective decisions, leading to unreliable behavior. Research suggests as many as 65% of companies still lack the foundational data infrastructure needed for truly useful agentic AI. And we can't overlook scalability and cost. The financial and computational costs of deploying and maintaining these systems at scale can be truly daunting. This includes the high cost of specialized AI talent, recurring software service fees for advanced AI platforms, the significant infrastructure needed for training, inference, ongoing maintenance. These substantial economic hurdles raise the ROI bar very high, and many initiatives ultimately fail to demonstrate sufficient value to overcome them. It's a heavy investment needing clear returns.
Okay, so even if the tech is theoretically available, getting the organization truly ready, both culturally and structurally, seems like another colossal hurdle. What are the major people and process challenges retailers need to contend with?
You've hit on a crucial point. The organizational side often presents even greater, more complex challenges than the technical ones. First, there's the pervasive issue of change management and workforce resistance. The very prospect of autonomous AI performing tasks previously done by humans often elicits deep-seated fear and resistance from employees concerned about job displacement. Overcoming this inertia requires far more than just technical training. It needs a fundamental re-architecture of how work is conceptualized. Organizations must evolve from managing people doing tasks to overseeing dynamic human agent teams focused on outcomes. This demands transparent communication about AI's role, clear articulation of its augmentative purpose, and crucially, proactive investment in creating psychological safety for employees as they adapt to entirely new workflows. Then there's the widely acknowledged pervasive skills gap. There's a significant, widely reported shortage of talent possessing the hybrid skills needed to effectively build, deploy, manage, and govern these sophisticated systems. Success requires a rare blend. Deep understanding of data engineering, advanced ML principles, a knack for business process re-engineering, critical knowledge of AI governance frameworks, a combination that's currently scarce. Retailers must invest heavily, not just in external hiring, but in rigorously upskilling their existing workforce and strategically creating entirely new roles to fill this gap. Another common pitfall we see is misaligned ROI expectations and pilot purgatory. A primary driver of project failure is often the fundamental misalignment between how value is genuinely created by these systems and how that value is traditionally measured. Many projects are initially judged against narrow, short-term cost-saving metrics, like immediate headcount reduction. This approach critically fails to capture the more significant long-term value drivers: compounded productivity gains, dramatically improved decision accuracy, enhanced operational agility, proactive risk mitigation. This mismatch often leads to promising initiatives being prematurely canceled when they don't deliver immediate, easily quantifiable cost savings, trapping valuable innovation in that pilot purgatory where great ideas never scale.
Right. And beyond the purely technical and organizational challenges, there's also this complex web of ethical, legal, accountability considerations, especially as these systems get more autonomous. What does this governance gauntlet entail, and how do retailers navigate these risks?
That's a profoundly important question. The inherent autonomy of agentic AI introduces a new, complex layer of risk that absolutely necessitates robust governance frameworks. One top concern is undoubtedly data privacy and security. By design, agentic systems need broad, often deep access to sensitive customer and enterprise data to function effectively. This creates significant privacy and security risks, making them prime targets for cyber threats. In that same survey I mentioned, 53% of IT leaders cited data privacy and compliance as their top concern when scaling AI agents. Ensuring meticulous compliance with evolving regulations like GDPR or CCPA is critical and non-trivial, adding significant complexity. Then there's the issue of algorithmic bias and fairness. Agents trained on vast data sets, often historical data, can inadvertently inherit and amplify existing human biases present in that data. This can lead to inequitable outcomes in areas like personalized pricing, where certain demographics might get consistently higher offers, promotional targeting, or even automated hiring decisions. Without rigorous, regular bias audits and continuous monitoring, retailers run the severe risk of perpetuating unfair practices at scale, causing significant reputational damage and legal liabilities. Ensuring fairness is a real challenge. And perhaps one of the most fundamental challenges is accountability and liability. When an autonomous agent makes a mistake, who is ultimately responsible? If an agentic pricing system makes an error costing millions, or a customer service agent gives dangerously incorrect advice, like that recent Air Canada chatbot case, which was held legally liable.
Right, I remember that.
Exactly. Who is held accountable? The black box nature of some complex AI models, where their decision-making is opaque, further complicates auditing and explaining actions, creating a significant legal and ethical gray area that hinders adoption in high-stakes domains. Finally, we must acknowledge and prepare for AI-aided abuse and malicious use. The same advanced capabilities allowing retailers to automate operations can, unfortunately, be leveraged by bad actors. They can deploy their own sophisticated agents to exploit systems at scale. Automated returns fraud, systematic promo code abuse, rapid inventory scalping for resale, widespread testing of stolen credit cards. Distinguishing between a legitimate customer shopping agent and a malicious bot becomes a critical new security challenge retailers must actively confront.
So, given this dense thicket of challenges, it's easy to swing between boundless optimism for the future and maybe overwhelming fear of the unknown. How do we, as listeners, truly separate the science fiction from the tangible value that's actually working in the real world right now? What's the reality check we need?
This raises an important point because the market for agentic AI is currently undergoing what we might call a great filter. The initial wave of boundless enthusiasm, largely fueled by excitement around generative AI, led to a proliferation of ill-defined, overly ambitious projects. Many of these are now colliding with the hard realities of complex integration, the absolute necessity of high-quality data, and the rigorous demands of ROI justification. This collision is leading to those high project cancellation rates predicted by analysts. But it's crucial to understand, this isn't a sign of the technology's fundamental weakness. It's a classic market correction, separating pragmatic, value-driven applications from purely speculative ones. For retail leaders, the imperative now is to embrace this AI filter, focusing strategically on foundational capabilities and high-probability, high-impact use cases. Let's start by deconstructing some of the hype, particularly the self-driving enterprise myth. The most pervasive marketing narrative paints this vision of a fully autonomous self-driving enterprise where AI agents handle all high-stakes decisions with zero human supervision. While undeniably compelling, this vision is a significant overstatement of current capabilities and fundamentally misrepresents the practical reality. The ground reality is far more nuanced. A critical look reveals that the vast majority of systems marketed as AI agents are in fact simpler automated pipelines or chained prompt workflows, not truly autonomous reasoning systems capable of complex, unsupervised decision-making across a whole business. The tech, while advancing rapidly, is still early stage for truly generalized autonomy. A recent study found a mean completion rate of only about 75% for complex, multi-step tasks when agents operated autonomously, with high refusal rates for tasks needing legal or financial judgment. This performance gap, plus the costs and governance challenges, led Gartner to predict that over 40% of enterprise agentic AI projects will be canceled by 2027. The dream of a fully automated, hands-off organization remains science fiction for now. The practical reality is incremental, carefully managed, human-supervised automation.
Right. So, to be clear, it's not about replacing humans entirely, but fundamentally changing their roles and how they interact with the system.
Exactly. This highlights what we call the reality of augmentation, the human-in-the-loop imperative. Contrary to the anxiety-inducing narrative of human replacement, every single successful, scaled implementation of agentic AI in retail today operates on a model of profound human augmentation. The technology's current proven value lies not in supplanting human intelligence entirely, but in its immense capacity to significantly enhance it. By automating the mundane, repetitive, data-intensive tasks, providing powerful support for complex decisions. In this proven model, AI agents handle the high-volume, repetitive, data-intensive tasks ill-suited for human cognition. Think agents meticulously monitoring thousands of SKUs for price changes, or rapidly analyzing millions of data points to detect a subtle supply chain anomaly that would take a human team weeks. This liberation frees up human employees for truly higher value activities, strategic thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving like negotiating a critical supplier deal, designing an innovative marketing campaign, or handling a sensitive customer escalation requiring empathy. This human-in-the-loop approach isn't a temporary stopgap. It's a deliberate, necessary design choice. For high-stakes decisions, major pricing shifts, large procurement orders, complex fraud escalations risk, and compliance guardrails are mandatory. Such decisions must remain explainable, auditable, and ultimately subject to human sign-off. The goal isn't removing humans. It's profoundly elevating their role from tactical execution to strategic supervision and orchestration.
That distinction makes a lot of sense, augmentation over replacement. So, if we're separating hype from reality, focusing on what truly works, what are the absolute prerequisites for success with agentic AI? What foundational elements must be in place for retailers to actually derive value?
This is a really important question. Because ultimate success is determined far less by the AI model's sophistication and far more by the strength and readiness of the foundational elements supporting it. The projects successfully navigating that great filter and delivering tangible value share a common, critical set of characteristics and investments. The most critical prerequisite, often the most underfunded, is execution-ready infrastructure. This isn't just about having data, it's about a modern, API-driven technical infrastructure allowing an agent to seamlessly, reliably, securely act on its decisions. Data readiness clean, organized data is necessary, but utterly insufficient on its own. An agent with perfect insights but no ability to actually execute a purchase order, update a price, or trigger a shipping notification is just an analytical tool, not an agent. Execution readiness characterized by accessible, robust APIs, event-driven architecture for real-time reactions, high-throughput data pipelines, that's the true differentiator. This is the sophisticated plumbing letting the agent do something in the real operational world. Next, there's the absolute necessity of domain-specific expertise. Generic all-purpose agents, designed to be broadly intelligent, frequently fail when applied to the incredibly nuanced, high-accuracy, often idiosyncratic domains of retail. A model that can write a sonnet isn't necessarily equipped to manage the complexities of apparel merchandising, cold chain logistics, or the subtle triggers of a retail promotion. Successful implementations rely on agents meticulously trained on vast amounts of domain-specific data, fine-tuned for industry workflows, grounded in the unique business logic and operational constraints of the organization. You need an agent that truly understands the specific world it operates in. And finally, a strategy of pragmatic, value-driven adoption is paramount. The most effective strategies begin with narrowly defined, high-value use cases. Where the problem is exceptionally well-defined, success metrics are crystal clear, easily measurable. Start with a contained problem, automating stock replenishment for one category, optimizing dynamic pricing for a specific segment. This lets retailers quickly prove tangible value, build crucial organizational trust, generate internal momentum for more complex applications. This pragmatic, incremental approach contrasts sharply with ambitious, top-down, boil-the-ocean projects, which are far more likely to get bogged down and fail.
Okay, so if you're a retail leader listening to this, what's the actionable roadmap? How do you move beyond this pilot purgatory we talked about and ensure your organization not only survives but genuinely thrives in this agentic era?
This is where strategic foresight becomes absolutely critical. The emergence of agentic AI isn't a trend to be passively monitored. It is a structural, foundational shift demanding proactive, deliberate strategic planning. For retail leaders, navigating this transition requires a clear-eyed, realistic view of the tech's capabilities and limitations, a genuine willingness to invest significantly in foundational modernization, and a deep commitment to fundamentally reimagining the nature of work within their organization. A successful strategy isn't a single audacious leap, but a carefully sequenced, phased journey. We advocate for a clear phased adoption roadmap. Crawl, walk, run, allowing organizations to build capabilities and confidence iteratively. In the crawl, present-day focus phase, the immediate priority should be internal, back-office processes, high-volume, structured data, clear ROI. This is the ideal proving ground. Retailers should strategically prioritize use cases like supply chain optimization, autonomous inventory management, dynamic pricing. The primary goals here: build core technical capabilities, data integration, agent orchestration, demonstrate tangible financial value to get executive buy-in, and develop initial, robust governance frameworks. As those foundations mature and confidence grows, focus expands to customer-facing augmentation in the walk 1 to 2 years focus phase. Here, deploy advanced conversational agents for customer service, hyper-personalized e-commerce with real-time adaptive merchandising, augment in-store associates with contextual data via mobile or wearables. The goals: directly enhance customer experience, improve metrics like conversion and satisfaction, increase frontline workforce effectiveness. Finally, in the run, 3 to 5 years focus phase, the long-term strategy must proactively prepare for ecosystem-level disruption. This means developing a robust API-first data strategy, ensuring products are visible and accessible to third-party consumer shopping agents. Internally, experiment with advanced multi-agent systems to orchestrate complex end-to-end business processes, breaking down those silos. The ultimate goal: build deep, systemic agility and a data-centric posture for long-term competitive resilience in a future increasingly mediated by autonomous agents.
That's a very clear, actionable progression. But what about the underlying tech stack for these phases? What specific areas should retailers be investing in to build out their agentic capabilities effectively?
All right, this is where companies often stumble, focusing maybe too much on the flashy AI model rather than the critical foundations. Effective agentic AI isn't a single piece of software you buy. It's a complex, interconnected system, an agentic stack, that must be meticulously built or thoughtfully integrated. Strategic investment needs to be allocated intelligently across all layers, and often the most critical layers are overlooked or underfunded. First and foremost, prioritize the foundation, the infrastructure layer. This is arguably the most critical, often underfunded investment. We're talking the robust underlying infrastructure enabling perception, reasoning, action. Cloud-native data platform, optimized vector databases for semantic search, secure API gateways. A vector database, for instance, is crucial because it lets agents understand meaning and context, not just keywords, enabling far more nuanced decisions. This whole infrastructure layer is the plumbing, providing real-time data flow and the execution pathways agents critically need to act. Without it, the smartest agent is useless. Next is the agent plus model layer, the brain of the system. Retailers must carefully choose appropriate agent frameworks, like LangChain or AutoGen, and select foundational models suited for the specific tasks. Crucially, the largest LLM isn't always optimal. Research from NVIDIA and others shows that for many narrow repetitive tasks, smaller, highly fine-tuned small language models, SLMs, can be significantly more cost-effective, faster, and more energy efficient. A sophisticated mixture of experts approach, using the right model for the right job, will be key to scaling cost-effectively. Finally, you need a robust orchestration and governance layer. This is the central nervous system. It manages complex workflows, continuously monitors agent performance against objectives, rigorously enforces business rules and ethical guardrails. Investing in a robust orchestration platform is essential for managing multi-agent system complexity, ensuring alignment with objectives, and ensuring compliance. This layer brings everything together, ensures interoperability, and crucially makes sure the whole system operates safely and responsibly.
That's a truly comprehensive view of the essential tech side. But how does this profound transformation specifically impact the workforce? We've talked about augmentation, but what are the specific roles emerging? What skills are becoming absolutely crucial for individuals and organizations to cultivate?
This is an area of immense transformation, absolutely. The integration of agentic AI will inevitably and profoundly reshape the retail workforce. The primary impact, though, likely won't be mass job displacement, but rather a significant structural transformation of existing job roles and a rapidly escalating demand for entirely new skills. The focus of human work will shift decisively from manual task execution and rote processes to higher value, strategic, uniquely human activities. We're seeing a clear imperative for redefining roles across the organization. As agents increasingly automate repetitive analytical and transactional tasks, basic data entry, initial customer support triage, human employees will be free to concentrate on areas where they have an inherent advantage. This includes creativity, complex problem solving needing nuanced judgment, strategic planning, and critically, building deep, empathetic customer relationships. The enduring value of humans will be doing what agents for the foreseeable future cannot. This redefinition naturally leads to cultivating several distinct emerging roles. First, the AI agent manager orchestrator. Professionals who design, train, monitor, manage teams of digital agents, setting goals, evaluating performance, ensuring they work effectively together. Second, the business process re-engineer. Experts who fundamentally redesign core workflows to leverage human agent teams for maximum efficiency and innovation, not just automate old steps. And third, the AI ethicist governance specialist. Individuals creating and enforcing frameworks ensuring agents operate safely, fairly, transparently, compliantly, safeguarding against unintended consequences. This comprehensive shift underscores a massive upskilling imperative. Significant, continuous investment in training and development isn't just beneficial, it's non-negotiable. The entire workforce, from C-suite to store floor, needs a new level of AI literacy. The ability to effectively define goals, set constraints for agents, critically interpret agent outputs, collaborate seamlessly with these digital partners, that becomes a core competency for nearly every role. It's about learning a new language of collaboration.
Wow. We've covered a tremendous amount of ground today, really peeling back the layers of agentic AI in retail. We started by defining it, these proactive, goal-driven systems that continuously learn and act going far beyond traditional AI. We journeyed through its immediate impact, highlighting real-world successes like Walmart's incredible 30% reduction in stockouts and the power of hyper-personalization driving those 25% higher AOVs on platforms like Shopify. We explored the exciting and maybe, challenging future with the rise of powerful consumer agents and that vision of a truly sentient enterprise where multi-agent systems collaborate seamlessly. But we didn't shy away from confronting the very real interconnected challenges, the hurdles of legacy systems, the critical importance of data quality, the crucial need for robust governance to ensure fairness, security, accountability. And critically, we took time to debunk that enticing but ultimately premature self-driving enterprise myth. Instead, highlighting that the true, enduring power of agentic AI lies not in replacement, but in profound augmentation, elevating human roles to strategic orchestrators and empathetic collaborators. As agentic AI continues its relentless transformative march through retail, the real battleground, it won't ultimately be about who has the most sophisticated algorithms. Instead, it seems it will be decided by who builds the most resilient, execution-ready data infrastructure, and perhaps even more profoundly, who can most effectively empower their human workforce to dance in perfect, productive lockstep with these autonomous digital partners. Will your favorite brands adapt quickly enough? Or will your next significant purchase be entirely orchestrated by an agent you never even interact with directly, prioritizing efficiency over loyalty? What does that truly mean for the future of brand connection? We genuinely hope this deep dive has given you a fresh perspective, equipped you with some valuable insights, and maybe sparked some further thought. Keep learning, keep questioning, and keep a keen eye on how these increasingly autonomous agents are shaping the world around us, one decision, one purchase at a time. Until next time, stay curious.